Hello, everyone. This is Rupa from BlackSwan Business Setup Services, and I'm here today to help you with step-by-step process of how you can set up your company in Dubai. I'm sure when the first thought came in your mind, you just went to Google and you searched how to set up a company in Dubai. And though I thank ChatGPT to become our friend, however, you don't get all the answers there. Sometimes it can be misleading, sometimes it can be confusing. And two words which you see the most is mainland and free zone. And then you think, what's mainland, what's free zone, where I should go, where should I set up your company? My answer is come to BlackSwan. So BlackSwan is a corporate service provider. We are in the industry for more than 10 years. We have served more than 6,000 clients, and we have more than 60 business consultants who can consult you with all their expertise and empathy. Now, the first thing is when you're planning to set up a company in Dubai, the first thing that you need to decide is what is the activity that you're planning to do. In your home country, maybe your activity, you are a manufacturer, but maybe in Dubai, you just want to be a trader. Or maybe you're planning to set up a consultancy or a architect company or a restaurant or a cafe. Whatever is your activity, you need to decide it precise. Because unlike other countries, Dubai don't allow multiple activities in one license. I know what you're thinking. Maybe in some countries, in one license, you have multiple activities. In this, from the same license, you're doing trading, service, and everything. But here, it doesn't work like that. Another thing that's important is most of the activities are very regulated over here. Once you are deciding your activity, you should also know what kind of approvals you need for your activity. For example, if you're starting a restaurant, you might need a municipality approval and many other approvals followed by that. If you're planning to start a education institute, you need an approval from KHDA. Similarly, if you're starting a clinic, you might need a DHA approval. So you need to be prepared for any kind of external approvals. And the reason activity is important because that will decide the budget that you're going to spend to set up your license. Now, once your activity is decided, our consultants will talk to you about what is your business plan. For example, who is going to be your target audience? Whom are you going to sell the product? Is it inside country? Is it outside country? How are the logistics going to work? After discussing everything, do you need an office? Do you need employees? After deciding all these factors, they consult and suggest you whether you should set up a company in a mainland or a free zone. Well, if I go to define why you should choose mainland or a free zone, this video will going to be very, very long. So I'm going to skip that part and I'll keep it for the next video. However, once your activity is decided, once you've decided which jurisdiction are you going to set up your company, mainland or free zone, then the third part comes to finalize your trade names. Yes, the first thing in business setup over here, whether you're setting up in mainland or free zone, is deciding trade names. Now, don't be so optimistic that exactly the name that you're using in your home country, you're going to get over here. Dubai is also little strict about the trade names. They make sure that your trade names have a proper meaning in English and Arabic. They make sure that you don't use any country's name or any community's name or any religion's name in your trade names. So before you are choosing your trade names, be informed about the trade name laws over here and make sure you have 4 to 5 options for approval so that if one doesn't work, you don't have to again waste time. You have another 4 options waiting to get approved. Once your trade name is decided, the second thing that we go for is initial approval, or you can say security approval, for which we will need the passport copies of all the shareholders. Now, there's one more thing additional that's called the UBO. So, I'm not going in details, but generally, it's a client KYC that we need to submit along with your security approval. Now, once your trade name and your security approval or initial approval is done, we go ahead with your memorandum signing. So all the partners in the company come to the notary and sign the memorandum. This memorandum will have almost all the clause in the company, that who is going to represent the company, who is going to sign on behalf of the company, who is going to represent the company in the bank. So it will have the shareholding of all the shareholders, the profit sharing of all the shareholders, and all the important clause that you need to define in your company. So I will suggest always read your memorandum and make sure whatever clause can be amended, you customize it as per your requirements. Number 3, once your trade name, initial approval, and memorandum is done, the fourth step comes your company address. Yes, to register a business in Dubai, a company address is a must. Now, when it comes to company address, it can be an office, it can be a warehouse, it can be a retail showroom, or it can be a virtual office, or you can say a flexi desk. However, you need to make sure that your HRE is valid for 12 months, and you need to make sure that you have the HRE from a verified vendor. Don't fall into trap for short-term HREs or HREs that are cancelled in 1 month or anything that is tricky or fishy. Don't go for that. Always go for a credible address, sign agreements with a credible company, and make sure your HRE is properly valid for 12 months, because your license validity is also 12 months. So your HRE must be valid for another 12 months. Once we get the company address, we can issue your license. You get your license unless there is no other external approvals. In case there are any external approvals, then we go to the external approval body to get the approval. For example, if it is a gold trading company, we go to CIRA and we start the external approval process. Or if it is a medical clinic, we go to DHA and we start the approval in the Dubai Health Authority. Now, these kind of approvals for different departments can take different times, 2 or 4 days or 15 to 20 working days, anything. Once those approvals are done, we can get your final license. And after the license, the next step will be registering your business in the immigration. And then you get a card, we call it establishment card. So a lot of times people get confused, what's establishment card? It's actually your company being registered in the immigration and you getting an immigration card, which can be used to issue the visa of the investors. After the immigration card is issued, we go ahead and issue the visa of the investors. Generally, you can get maximum up to 2 investor visas in a mainland company. And similarly, for a free zone company, depending on how many visa license you have taken from the free zone. Now, once the investor visa is done, generally it takes 4 to 5 working days. You get your medicals done, you get your Emirates ID done, and then you can go ahead for the bank account. Yes, the bank account process. Dubai at the moment is very advanced in banking. We have both traditional and digital banks. So you can go ahead with a digital bank account, which will hardly take 2 days, or you can go for a traditional bank account, which might take 7 to 10 working days. Whichever option do you choose, definitely client KYC is a must. So you must be ready with your business plan, a profile of yours, your home address, home country address, any utility bill, and maybe your 6 months bank statement. So these are the basic documents that any bank needs to open your bank account. Now, once you're done with your bank account, we also need to register your company in the Federal Tax Authority. So yes, any license within 90 days from the date of formation, the company must be registered in the FTA, and you must be registered for corporate tax. Now, you must be saying whether every company needs to pay tax. Well, first of all, whether you're in free zone, mainland, wherever, every company needs to register for corporate tax. Corporate tax is 9% for all companies, but it's only above net profit of 375,000. And then once you reach a turnover of 375,000, you can register your company for VAT, which is 5%. But you'll be only eligible after 375,000. And similarly, corporate tax, you pay only on the amount above net profit of 375,000. So trade name, initial approval, your memorandum, your company address, your license, your establishment card, your visa, your bank account, and your tax registrations and VAT registrations. Is it sounding too much? Well, if you can do it by yourself, great. Everything is digital, everything is online. If you spend some time, you can do it by yourself. However, as an entrepreneur, we do understand that you want to spend your time in something that's more important and that can bring you more revenue. So you can leave this part to us. At Black Swan, we guide you from the A to Z process of company setup in Dubai. We also have a business center. So we also provide offices, flexi desks, conference room rentals. So you can use it it's absolutely in the heart of Dubai in Business Bay. So we give you end-to-end service. We help you set up your entire company, get your visas done. Even for further services, like if you want to bring your family, get your family visa done, we also do that. So feel free to contact us for any company setup requirements. Today we almost covered just the generic topics, but maybe in my next videos, I'll come up with more details about how to decide whether you should go for mainland and free zone, what are the best free zones in Dubai to set up your company, and some of the regulations you need to take care when you're setting up your company in mainland. Till then, bye-bye. See you in the next video.